Magic Show is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and check this out, Worldwake is coming soon, and StarCityGames.com is your source for boxes, cases, fatbacks, intro packs, complete sets, and singles. Head on over to StarCityGames.com and pre-order Worldwake today.
Hi, I'm Hall of Famer Yoga Rigisma, and this is the Magic Show.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the Magic Show. This week we're going to go over Worldwake. The spoiler is filled up, this pre-release is mere hours away, and it's time to see just what cards and strategies are going to come hurling at us this spring. Let's go! So this week the full spoiler has hit the web and it's time to dive in. First, a quick note about last week. As you may recall, I compared Colony Garden to Sakura Tribe Elder. Now this caused many people to point out exactly how different Colony Garden was than the 1/1. And yeah, I understand it doesn't accelerate you. But what Sakura Tribe Elder does, as well as Colony Garden, is produce a dude to block while also providing a mana. Now granted, Sakura Tribe Elder puts you one more mana ahead than the Garden, but you also don't have to pay anything for the dude you get, you know. Really, looking back, I should have just left this comparison alone. Anyway, first up, Amulet of Vigor. Oh man, love this guy. I think Amulet of Vigor could be the most fun, if not most powerful card in the whole frickin' set. It's a card with limitless potential. Because of the recent design philosophy at Wizards, it is universally understood that they can make a fantastic land, but in order to balance it, they have to stick enters the battlefield tapped on it. They skirted around this in Ravnica block, bringing us the closest thing to the original dual lands we've ever gotten by using 2 life payments in order to get them to untap. But now, you only need Amulet of Vigor and you have yourself a bona fide dual land. But that's not all, of course. Ravnica block also featured the incredible bounce lands, also known as Karoos, that required you to return a land to your hand and wait another turn to get a 2-mana boost. But with Amulet of Vigor, you have the most insane bounce lands ever made and can instantly use and abuse them. But hang on! It gets better. You know the problem with artifacts as unique and interesting as this is that multiples are usually crappy and don't help you at all. Not with Amulet of Vigor. Seeing as it says whenever, that means this triggered ability goes on the stack and you can do things in between multiple triggers. So, let's say you've got a Ravnica bounce land you're playing with 3 Amulet of Vigors in play. You play it, return a land, then untap it from the first Amulet trigger, then tap it for 2 more mana, then let the second Amulet trigger resolve, tap it for 2 more, then let the third Amulet trigger resolve and tap it for 2 more. This artifact just went from a bonus to an incredible surge in mana production. Beyond bounce lands, we have Cloud Post. Beyond that, you can punish your opponent by playing Root Maze. Imagine late game dropping a Keldon Megalith with no cards in hand and using its ability for each Amulet of Vigor you have in play. So sick. Get these before everyone catches on to how incredibly abusable they are. Treasure Hunt is up next, and oh my god, you'd think they just reprinted Brainstorm or something. Blue control players are freaking the hell out over this card, and I certainly hope it will pan out. But over this draw spell, that statistically draws you 1.75 cards a whack and works wonderfully with Jace the Mind Sculptor's Brainstorm ability, but this spell is good, no doubt about it, and could see a fair amount of play, but you know what I find far more interesting? Halimar Depths. Now, this is a blue card I can get excited about. While yes, it combos with Treasure Hunt beautifully, I feel this mini Ponder for free is well worth the enters the battlefield tapped clause. This is a card that, in a format filled with fetch lands, will shine exceptionally bright. Others are saying that this card could also bring Traumatic Visions into favor once again, as it gives you both a counter and the ability to shuffle your deck if your next few cards are subpar. Get yours foiled and fast before every blue deck under the sun uses a playset. Speaking of lands, let me tell you guys, these dual lands are nuts. I honestly can't believe I'm looking at these incredible dual lands pre-selling for what, $5? They are worth more, intrinsically and playably, than the M10 duels, and those have stayed at well over $10 ever since they debuted. A blue-white fixer with an angel attached, a red-black dude with fire breathing built in, a green-red monster that gets a counter per activation, so late game you can pump 8 mana into it and make him even more monstrous, a green-white 3/4 reach Reach, a card pretty damn close to the Cadillac of Manlands, Treetop Village. A blue-black unblockable creature that will end the game slowly but surely, which is exactly what a blue-black deck likes to do. As of right now, these guys aren't getting the respect they deserve. Expect to see them everywhere in the coming months and could easily sneak into Extended as well. Fixtures that also double as finishers? Wow! Now up next, we got ourselves a fatty. And not just any fatty, but a boom boom, close your windows, lock your doors, hang on tight, snake, nasty fatty. Ken Nagel designed Worldwake, and when we need fatties, he gave us one. Check out Terastodon. Yeah! Woo! 18 freaking power of dudes for 8 mana. 18! Yes, read that again. Screw this blow up your stuff idea. I'll sack 3 forests and kick the snot out of you. But sure, if I have to, I'll blow up your planeswalkers and your cute artifacts and enchantments, then I'll just Earthquake for 3 and smash in with a 9/9. Terastodon is a fatty that is matched by few others in ability, size, and sheer overpowering board presence. He will mess a game up and is a magnet for reanimation. Makeshift Mannequin just got one hell of a target. The only thing that bugs me about this guy is the lack of trample. Really? A monster that big and he can be stopped by a 1/1? Come on, Wizards. Moving on, I want to cover 2 fails. Yeah, fails are fun to go over. They bring a certain glee to things, and watching others bring ruin to those around them. And besides, these fails will never be epic, but fails they remain. The first, Mordant Dragon. Fail. This creature is both harder to cast than Flame Blast Dragon, has fire breathing that is twice as expensive as, well, fire breathing, is smaller than Rorix at the same cost, not to mention lacking haste, and whose ability cannot hit other players. This is like a dragon that exists only to make other dragons look good. It's the ugly friend of dragons. Yes, thank you, Mordant Dragon. I now see just exactly how amazing Hellkite Charger is, because you suck so hard you can't do anything but make him look good. The second, Bull Rush. Have you seen what this card does? What the hell? Seriously? A +2/+0 instant effect? That's what we get? That's the best common we can slip in there? You guys, you notice Slaughter Cry from, the set just before this one? Sure, it's 2 more mana, but let's just say for argument's sake it's better. Let's just say that. Now, this card is, it's cute, I guess. It's a creature shock. Yeah, or like brute force. Wait a minute, it's nothing like brute force. It's a friggin' world away from that color shift of giant growth. Instead, red has fallen so out of favor of getting a decent creature pump that Bull Rush is what we get instead. You have to be kidding me. This is not the mindless null of the set, a wonderfully bad card that is actually deceptively good and interesting. This card is just, it's fail. So on the flip side, let's take a look at one awesome red rare. And I mean, he is large, in charge, and is going to do some damage to the metagame. Oh yes, Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs, can bring a game to a screeching halt. Sure, you want to attack there, buddy? This guy is a ghostly prison on crack. Sure, you can pay 3 and not give me a dude, but that just means I have a 5/4 plus whatever else is going over here to block it. Kazul, backed by Chandra Nalar and Chain Reaction, smells like a deck already. You don't want to attack because of the payment restriction, yet you must kill that Planeswalker. All while they can sit back and nuke you with Comet Storm, Lightning Bolt, and so on. Big Red is coming, people, so get prepared. I don't care if Core Firewalker is out there or not. We're getting back Quicksand, right? But say, what about Bazaar Trader? Well, we finally know what he does. Yeah, so kinda donate on legs-ish. That doesn't actually let you donate things that can hurt your opponent outside of a Mortal Coil. Several people are aflutter about the possibility of giving your opponent Abyssal Persecutor with Bazaar Trader, but I think that's just overkill. You don't need Bazaar Trader to do anything that your removal spells won't already do to get Abyssal Persecutor out of the way. I wish this had said gains control of target permanent, because then it would have been really interesting, I think, and for now we'll wait for some good uses to pop up. Speaking of 2-drops, how about some all-star uncommons? Look at Surgery Merfolk and Slavery Gnolls. Oh man, do I love both of these guys. For me, both of these cards could have constructed viability. Sajiri Merfolk are super powered in Legacy, where you can play with Tundra all the live long, while Slavery Gnolls are pretty devastating beginning turn 3 when swinging in and forcing you to lose a card. Combine this with a few Terminates to clear the way, perhaps backed up by Sidraxis Spectre and Nixithid, and you've got yourself a pretty scary black-red discard deck. But these guys are nothing. You want to see power? Check out Loam Lion. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a white Kurt Ape! Zoo players around the world just ran around the room for high fives because this guy helped smooth out mana bases like few before it. Suddenly your temple garden will be powering out both your new white Curd Ape along with Wild Nicottle, allowing your mountain land to be Steam Vents or Blood Crypt instead of forcing you to get a stomping ground in order to support both Wild Nicottle and Curd Ape in the same deck. This new flexibility brings you into scarier tribal flames earlier, while still giving you a 2-3 for 1 mana. I don't know how powerful Loam Liono will be in Standard, but you can bet your bottom dollar he's going to be kicking ass in Extended. Moving on, I want to quickly mention how I love Goliath Sphinx. He's huge, he flies, he kills people, all for 7 mana, that's all. He's just a badass, a vanilla badass. Alright, so lastly, I want to mention Wolf Briar Elemental. Now, let me say, for the record, this guy is the sickness in Eldrazi Green. Never before have I seen such a sick late gameplay for a deck. Use and abuse your Garruk Wildspeaker and Elvish Archdruid and crank out a ton of wolf tokens. Then use Oran Reef the Vastwood to pump them all. Then use Master of the Wild Hunt and these wolves to completely decimate your opponent's board. Seriously, a 4-4 for 4 mana was once controversial. Now we're looking at a 4-4 that makes oodlings of 2/2s for a mere 1 mana a pop. In a deck that abuses wolves. Holy crap! This to me is one of the criminally underrated cards and one that can easily and efficiently destroy you when ripped after turn 8 or 9. And that's it for this week, folks. The pre-release is on, and you better get yourself over there, cracking packs before you can buy them. Worldwake is a subtle powerhouse with cards that need to be played rather than discussed in order to show their power. Sure, Celestial Colonnade and Wolf Briar Elemental may not look like much right now, but wait a few weeks and I think things will look a lot different. So until next week, Magic players, this is Evan Irwin, tapping the cards so you don't have to.
I always like the fatties.